Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and move the camera over a little bit more. What is going on? Let me go ahead and pull up the chat, see who we got in there. Let's see. Pop out chat. Okay, so Mike Law, West Coast Cowboy with HTM and Landlord are live now too. Subspace, what's going on, Mike? Chris, honestly, I would go with Nolan Smith at 26 if he's there. I mean, that is a really good proposition right there, and I think that we need to keep all, names available and all options open. I just think that people forget that with having Sam Williams and Dorrance, some people think, oh, you have Sam Williams and you're good there. Well, if he's the best player on the board, you kind of have to think about that. So there's that. Stevie, what's going on, my man? Better yet, Osiris Torrance at 26. You can have your left guard and have Tyler Smith at left tackle. So I agree there. I think that Osiris Torrance would be a nice pick at 26. I think it just depends on who's on the board and where things are falling. So what we're going to do is we are going to do 2 mock drafts in this live stream. The first one, what we're going to do is what I believe the Dallas Cowboys would do if the mock draft board fell the way it did. And then the second one, we'll do trades and stuff, what I would personally do if I was the GM of the Cowboys, given the circumstances. So before we begin, if you guys can hit the like button, that'd be greatly appreciated. If you're watching this on the video playback, please make sure to smash the like button. You guys have been doing a fantastic job at that. Subscribe if you're new. The average has dropped once again. Now it's 84%. We're keeping the whole thing going down, which is good. We want to make it so that more people that are watching this channel are subscribed than not, and we're on that path towards that. So that's great. And then if you want to become a channel member, you can hit the link in the pinned comment or click the join button. I believe if you're on mobile, you have to do it through the link, and as people are texting me, let's see. Okay. If you want to become a channel member, by all means, and support the channel further, hit the join button. You'll get a shout out in all of my videos at the very end and all that other stuff, and you get the little green check marker and the text and stuff like that. So there's that. And then if you noticed, I did put subscribers only mode on. I wanted to test out and see how this would go. So if you want to comment on the live stream, you have to be subscribed to the channel. I want to just see how that goes. Not saying that's going to be a permanent thing. I'm just curious to see how that looks. So let's go ahead and let me get things squared away here. We're just going to do a 3-round mock draft, nothing too crazy. Primarily because I want to see how free agency plays out for the Cowboys. Okay, enter draft. I'm not going to go super fast. I'm probably going to go like on the slowest speed, just to kind of make it as real as possible in the first go around. Let me do screen share. Boom, there we go, perfect. Let me go ahead and fix this on my end. There we go. So let me just get myself situated really quickly, and then we'll get started. Before we begin, any prospects? Subscriber mode makes life much easier. Yeah, not as cluttered. Before we begin, give me 1 second. Let me just turn off my heater because it's going to be loud as shit. Any prospects that you've been looking at the Cowboys should take a look at? I did the video earlier this morning about the guys that the Cowboys have met with, and if you haven't, go check it out, because the Cowboys are really looking at offensive linemen and cornerbacks based off of what they're looking at the combine. Now, that's not an indication of whether or not they're going to sign everybody, or rather they're going to go after that position. But that doesn't mean that they won't. So just keep that in mind as we move forward. So With that being said, we're gonna go on. I'm gonna see how slow mode goes, and if it goes too slow, um, then we'll change it up. But I want to kind of, we're only gonna just do the 2 mock drafts. We'll see how fast it goes, but it gives me time to talk to you guys. Eli, what's going on? Jordan Addison, but I think he'll be gone. Yeah, I think he'd be gone too. And Chris, so Space, in a realistic world, do you see us getting D-Hop? You can do it for the draft capital you have, but do I think Dallas is going to do it? No. I think what they'll do is they will go after. There is a realer. Is that even a word? There is a more real possibility of the Cowboys going after Odell Beckham Jr. than there is them going after DeAndre Hopkins and making a trade for him. Even though I think DeAndre Hopkins, you can get a guy like him. And I talked about this in the other video I put out this morning. So if you want to go see my thoughts on that, I would recommend go checking out that video for more in-depth stuff. But to kind of wrap up your question, yeah, I think it's possible. But yeah, actually, before we get started, let me go ahead and actually share the link on Twitter, because if I don't, then people don't know I'm live. So let me go ahead and do that now. Send now. Okay. Just had to get that out there. Okay. Haven't checked their film out yet, but that receiver Jake Boba and O-lineman TJ Bass both looked pretty solid during the combine for later day 3 chances. Okay. I'll have to take a look at those guys. I haven't really gotten a chance to look that far into it. So, for those that are just joining now and are about to jump into the draft here, here's what we're going to do. The first one is going to be what we think the Cowboys will do, or what I believe they will do if the draft board falls. I don't think they're going to do any trades. We're going to do that first for the 3-round mock draft. Then we're going to do a second one where I will be making trades, whether it be up or down, and I'll have to pull out the draft value chart to see what we want to do here. So with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and let's dive straight into this. So we're going to go on the slowest mode. I'm going to see how fast that goes. If it doesn't go quick, I'm going to restart it. So let's see. Oh, yeah, that goes pretty slow. Or no. That's pretty decent speed, I would say. Okay. What do you guys think about Jalen Carter? I know he just went. Where do you think he's going to fall? Do you think he's still going to go in the top? Oh, there goes some of these guys. Wow, CJ Stroud to the Raiders. Wow, that's a fall. Will Levis to Atlanta. Okay. Miles Murphy. Quentin Johnson to the Jets. That's an interesting pick. Okay. Okay. Brian Branch. Brian Breesy. Nolan Smith goes to Seattle. Michael Mayer goes to the Chargers. Dalton Kincaid goes to the Ravens. Broderick Jones to the Vikings. Bijan to the... That's a weird pick. And Jordan Addison goes to the Giants. Let's just do a quick wrap-up of the picks, and then we'll go into... Again, we are picking on what the Cowboys would do, not what I would want them to do. So, let's take a look. Will Anderson, Bryce Young, Jalen Carter, Anthony Richardson, Tyree Wilson, Christian Gonzalez. So, yeah, the prospects are getting pushed down the board due to the quarterbacks, which is exactly what we want. Quentin Johnson, Jackson. Interesting, to say the least. Jordan Addison goes, but I don't think the Cowboys would take Jordan Addison. So let's take a look and see who's on the board. So Anton Henderson, if I could speak, Harrison, Zay Flowers, Will McDonald, Josh Downs, Tanner McKee, Felix, okay, Bijo Jalari, Emmanuel Forbes, Cam Smith, Osiris Torrance, Steve Avila, Drew Sanders. And then you kind of now again, guys, it doesn't matter what these grades say. Let's see here. Really like wide receiver Rashee Rice and running back Tajee Spears in rounds 2 and 3. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of people pair the two together. Detroit badly needs a good defensive tackle, so I don't see them going past the 6th spot. Yeah, I agree, Stevie. I think he's not going that far down. D-Hop via BR said he's going to go. Yeah, of course. I mean, of course he's going to say that. So, from what Dallas media, and I take them with a grain of salt, is going at is that they are projecting the Cowboys will take a combination of a pass catcher, a cornerback, and a running back in the first couple rounds, and offensive line is a possibility as well. The only trade is the Bengals. Apparently the Bengals are right. So the Bengals want to move up, but of course we're going to sit and pick. I mean, I'm assuming they would probably, if they're going to go cornerback, Emmanuel Forbes is a guy they met with. And they might be high on. I would not be upset. Cam Smith's another dude. Osiris Torrance. But I would say that the Dallas Cowboys would maybe go, knowing how this board fell, I mean, to me, the pick would be Drew Sanders. That's how I would go. But I would say the Cowboys would most likely, if they're not going to go after a cornerback in free agency, they'll take a cornerback. I'm going to go on a limb, and again, this is not what I would do. I think the Cowboys would sit and pick, and, you know, Harrison would be a nice pick, but I think that they're going to sit and they would take a guy like Emmanuel Forbes. They met with them formally. I think that kind of the linkage there makes sense. Would I agree with what's on the... Well, he loves some... Dude, because he's a good prospect. Same thing with... what was it? What's his name? Is he on the board? Yeah, he has to be. Let's see if he's there. I'm not the only dude that loves him, by the way. Trenton Simpson's another good name to keep in mind, too. I'm shocked that these dudes aren't going. Like, people want to, you know, think I'm the only one that likes Drew Sanders. I'm not. You can go look on Twitter. I'm not the only dude. What's going on, Daniel Burry Sports Highlights? He won Cowboys draft Drew Sanders. It's a Cowboys pick. I mean, I did say that it's a really Cowboys pick, but for me, I think that they would go Emmanuel Forbes, with this pick. So let's go with the cornerback. They get a guy that's... So many people in the Cowboys universe said Forbes and Dan Quinn is a perfect match. Yeah, let's just go with the Emmanuel Forbes. I mean, you get a guy that's going to be a playmaker in your secondary. You get a guy beside him and Trevon Diggs. I think that's a nice little pairing there. So let's go with Emmanuel Forbes, knowing that the Cowboys met with him and such. Okay. Osiris Torrance. Let's just see. Antoine Harrison. Forbes is pretty good and wouldn't mind. I mean, I wouldn't mind it either, and Kelly Ringo is there, but then again, I kind of have to read in between the lines of what they would want to do. So, again, they're saying it's going to be a combination of cornerback, a pass catcher, and a running back. So let's just see how things go in this second round. 20 picks away. Okay. Darnell Washington's a guy I really like. There goes Trenton Simpson. Luke Musgrave. Oh, Jesus, that's nasty. Washington getting Jahmyr Gibbs. John Michael Schmitz. BJ Ojolari. Okay. 6 picks away. Okay. There goes Steve Avila. Okay. So a couple names to keep in mind. They did meet with a couple guys. Tank Adele. Let's see. They did meet with. I don't think they met with Zach Charbonnet, but that's a name to keep in mind. Um, Devon. This is a guy they did meet with. But the question is that now that you're bringing Tony Pollard back, would it make sense to go after another guy? I would say yes. I mean, but I'm going to take a look at the pass catchers as well. Let's see. So the Patriots want to trade up. I'm not doing that. I do like Zach Charbonnet. I really do. Let's take a look at the running backs. So some guys to keep in mind is Tajay Spears, Dwayne McBride, and of course you have plenty of these guys. Kenny McIntosh is a guy they met with. That if you want to double down, you can maybe get him later. Let's look at the wide receivers, not just the running backs. Okay, so Dell, A.T. Perry, Parker Washington, Rashee Rice, Kayshon Boutte. By the way, he might be in the third round because of how badly he tested in the combine. Like, that's a guy that you might get in the third round. So I would say knowing the value at the running back position, the question is like, okay, who have the Cowboys met formally at the wide receiver position, which I know they met with Dell. I know they did not meet with Boutte. And by the way, just because they didn't meet with them at the combine doesn't mean that they're not going to take them. I want to make that super, super clear. But I think wide receiver is a little bit more scarce than running back. So in this, and I'm going to check tight end too because the pass catcher does include tight end. This is a guy they did meet with, Luke Schoonmaker, a name you want to keep an eye out in this process, but I don't think they would go with him at this point. I'm going to go with Nathaniel Dell, the wide receiver out of Houston. You get yourself a pass catcher, and then you kind of bank on whoever's there in the third round to get. Dell is so undersized. Let's see. How much is so undersized? 5'10". Cowboys didn't meet with him, though. A.T. Perry is freaking 6'5". Let me take a look at the list of receivers the Cowboys met. I have it in my notes. And keep in mind, like, they usually draft tall guys, but this isn't a draft where you don't have to sit with. So here's who they met with. So let's see, Addison. Well, just because I say they met with these guys, not informal or informal. So let's see here. So they did meet with Zay Flowers. They met with Jordan Addison. They met with Jillian Hyatt, Raheem Jarrett, which I think he's already gone. Nah, he's still available, but you can get him later. There's another guy they met with, and then Jackson Smith and Jigba. They did have a informal visit with Dell, so that would be a weird pick. But I think they would go with Tank Dell measured at 5'8". No, he didn't. No way. Let me take a look at that. Did he really? Small ass dude. I mean, to me, height doesn't matter. If you have a bunch of tall guys, it's okay to, if the guy's a good player, why the hell not? Tank Dell. Tank Dell officially measured at 5'8". Jesus Christ, he's a small dude. That doesn't bother me. But that could hypothetically, what would it take to trade with the Bears at 1? I want. It's impossible. You're not going to get the number 1 overall pick. The Cowboys would have to give up like 2 draft classes worth. So let's go ahead and reevaluate this. But you would think they would want to go with a pass catcher early. Who knows? I mean, there is a a philosophy change, but let's reevaluate this. So Zach Charbonnet, if you're thinking Zeke's going to be gone, he would be the guy. Yeah, he was a small guy. I don't know if the Cowboys want to. Anyways, let's go ahead and let's reevaluate this. So, what I can tell you is that wide receiver, you do have some guys, and again, who knows? I might be wrong. But I think, for the sake of this, guys, again, I'm going to go with guys that the Cowboys have talked to and are still on the board. I'm going to say that they would most likely go with a pass catcher here. Let's just go with Nathaniel Dell. I understand. He's a short dude, but let's not act like they wouldn't do that in this particular realm of things, because they met with a lot of short guys at the draft, but I wouldn't be shocked. So let's go with Tank Dell. The Cowboys get a wide receiver, and again, they might be in a situation where they go get Odell Beckham Jr. or they go get a wide receiver that's just out there and they just say, we're good. So let's go with Tank Dell. I don't know what round he's projected to go, but Quinn met with that linebacker Overshown, the guy from Texas. Yeah, that's a name you want to keep an eye out on too, because I believe the Cowboys, I think if I look at my list, they formally met with him. And I know people want to talk about Randall Cobb and Tyreek Hill. I mean, again, we kind of have to think about, who the Cowboys have drafted at wide receiver. But I think, at this point, you kind of have to look at this draft and say to yourself, you kind of have to do something, you know what I mean? So, and also we kind of look at it this way, draft-wise, there's a better value at wide receiver there than at running back, and I feel like that's kind of where I stand there. And I do have a second-round grade on Tank Dell. Devon Arkin. All right, so we might... Getting close to our pick now. And by the way, I wouldn't be upset with this draft whatsoever as it's going. I think it depends on the first 3 picks, really, for me. Okay, picks coming up. There goes, that's the name you're looking for, DeMarvion Overshown. Okay. So, with that being said, the final pick for the Cowboys, again, if the Cowboys were drafting, would most likely be someone they've met with, but I've heard rumors they have met with Dwayne McBride. Yeah, Lobopack DT next pick for sure. Remember, this is not a draft that I would do. This is a draft that I think the Dallas Cowboys would do. That is a key distinction in this video, my guy. Next, we're going to be doing what I would do. But that's kind of where we're at. So, let's see here. So, my next question is there a running back worth taking? Dwayne McBride? Yes, most definitely. Yeah, I know, right? Exactly. Quarterbacks, You're probably, I would probably just wait until the 4th round to get one of those guys. No value there. I'm going to say we go with Dwayne McBride here, especially considering the fact that I think he would be a guy that would fit the mold of what Dallas would be looking for in a running back too. So I'm going to go with Dwayne. I know I would love to take Tajay Spears, but they are not going to take him. The dude's too short, and that's something that bothered, at the running back position. What is he? Or not too short. What am I talking about? I'm thinking of another dude. Someone measured at the combine really short at the running back position. Was that him? Because I would take Tajay Spears. So, did he measure at 5'9"? I was told he was measured at 5'9". And I do like him. I would love to have him on the Cowboys. I think he would fit real nicely with what we're doing here. But my main question is, let me see if the Cowboys met with him. Deuce Vaughn. Okay, Deuce Vaughn was the guy that was real short. Okay. Let me just see if the Cowboys met with... I think they did. I was told they did. So he was a prospect they didn't meet with at the Senior Bowl. Deuce Vaughn's dad is a Cowboys scout too. Gotcha. What do they have him at? 5'6"? Damn, dude's real short. Real small guy. Yeah, because I was like, there was someone that like came in around my height at the draft, and I was like, holy shit. Let's see. This is another name. Kendre Miller. I mean, says Tajay. I'm gonna say they go with where has there been a 5'5" running back that's been successful? I think Tariq Cohen on the Bears a couple. Yeah, there really isn't. Let's go with Tajay Spears. I think you go with someone that, for what it is, it's a Senior Bowl guy, and they typically like to take their Senior Bowl guys. So let's go with Tajay Spears here to round this thing out. Again, what the Cowboys would do, not what I would do. Next one we're going to be talking about trades and all this other stuff. Tyler Steen is a guy they met with too. Want to keep an eye out on that. But and now we just I think I could speed it. I could speed this up. Yeah, I agree. They have a fun little logo. Okay, let's take a look at this draft. Again, with what the Cowboys would do. So we took Emmanuel Forbes in round 1, Nathaniel Dell or Tank Dell, however you refer to him as, in the second round, and then in the third round, Tajay Spears, running back. This is what the reports are saying the Cowboys could do a combination of. Like, I'm talking about a cornerback, a wide receiver / tight end, or a running back. What do you guys think? If the Cowboys were to draft like this, what would you grade it? For me, I would probably give it a B. Back to Dell. What was his 40 time? Let me see. I think it was like 4.5. 4.5. He ran a 4.5. I agree. Army Mom Heather. Yeah, he's definitely a well-rounded back. B+. Cool. Tank Dell only ran a 4.49. Solid. A solid B. Yeah, I would give it that. A B. Okay, yeah. C+ for me. Yeah, I would agree. I mean, this isn't this isn't the sexiest draft, to say the least, but it's okay, you did your thing. B+, gotcha. Alrighty, guys, so before we get to what I would do, and knowing how the draft board would fall, what I would try to do, if you could please make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and if you want to support the channel further and get shout-outs in my videos at the very end, think about becoming a member today by hitting the join button in the pinned comment, or if you're on, I think you have to be on desktop to hit the join button, but I digress. Dell has elite hands and his routes are elite. Phil's needs like it. Nothing jumps off the page. Right, Mike. This isn't a, oh my God, we did this. It's just kind of we did it. There we go. Okay, so we're going to do a new mock draft. We're going to do a 3-round mock. I wouldn't be angry at it all, which is most important. I mean, for real. I mean, I wouldn't be mad at it either. This would just be oh, we did this. That's fantastic, guys. All right, let's take a look. How many people we got watching? 20 people watching. Thank you guys so much for watching. We got 15 likes on there. Sign OBJ, DeJuan Jones. Yeah. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to do a 3-round mock. We're going to kind of stop at every pick to just kind of think about, do we want to trade up? is there a guy we want to go about? So let's go ahead and let's see. Get a tackle in the first round, Space Cow. I mean, depends on who's on the board and depends on how the draft's falling. And I would definitely listen. I would love to shore up the O-line. That's been something I've been really big on, especially with other prospects. But let's go ahead and let's dive into it. So this would be what I would do. Trading up and trading down is a possibility, but we have to make it reasonable, right? We can't be unrealistic. Trade the farm and get the first pick from the Bears. Yeah, that's not happening. You would have to give up probably 3 years worth of draft capital, and even that, you know, the Bears moving all the way from 1 to 26 isn't something they want to do. So there's that. And to be honest with you, because you mentioned Mr. Prescott as an issue, if you want to be smart with it, you would take a mid-round guy this go around, and then you would ride the rest of the contract out. But unfortunately, that's not what the Cowboys do. Steele might be an issue. I agree. It depends on his rehab, because we could be in a situation where, and this is why the Cowboys gave him a second-round tender, because people are like, why didn't they give him a first round? It's a bit more expensive, and on top of that, it just doesn't make sense to sign him at this point in time if you have concerns, right? Wildcard Jerry, you don't trade up unless it's for a quarterback, and Dallas doesn't need it. Not yet. I do think, however, there are guys that I would like to take as backups that you can get better over Cooper Rush, but I have guys that I like over there. Trade Dak to Carolina for 9 and trade up from 9 to 1. You cannot do that, my friend. I am sorry. I know you want to get Dak Prescott off the team, and I'm not saying that to defend Dak Prescott. What I'm telling you is that you would need for Dak Prescott to agree to go to Carolina, which you could just say no, and then you would then have to, and by the way, they might be like, no, we would rather go with a different guy. That's just how they look at it, because it's like, okay, why would I go get Dak Prescott and get the big cap hit when I can just go there? And that's just what some teams think. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start this draft. So again, what I would do, all right, so Jalen Carter goes number 1 overall. Jesus Christ. Bryce Young goes 2. Will Anderson goes 3. This QB class thinks that actually bad year to try to trade. Right. So we're stuck. Bro, it's because of the fact, and I'm trying to be real with people when they're talking about this, there is, and I mean this as objectively as possible, this is not the year to move on from Dak, and there is no guy in here that I would be like, and where you're positioned, where I'd be like, okay, let's move up to get a guy. Just being real with you. Like, I'm sorry. Like, if it were me, and you said Space Cowboy, what's our exit plan from Dak? If it were me, you don't touch his contract, you tank 2023, and you go after Caleb Williams. That's what I would do, just being real with you. But they never do that, and that's just the honest fact of the matter. So let's keep moving along. Will Levis goes here, so I like how this draft's going at the top part. Tyree Wilson goes. I'm probably waiting. So Devin Witherspoon, CJ Stroud, Anthony Richardson. Okay. Christian Gonzalez. All right, so let's see what the Eagles do. Quentin Johnson. Jesus Christ, another receiver from them. Paris Johnson. Peter Strongnowski. Okay. Levis is Tim Couch 2.0. I'm not a fan of Will Levis. I have a second-round grade on him. I think for me the problem is that compared to his other contemporaries, I just don't think he has those same intangibles. I have a second-round grade on him for this particular draft class. The only 3 first-round grades I have which if you don't know how I do my grades, is that a first round grade is a guy that I think I can give a second contract to if he develops. Second round grade's like, okay, I could see him playing throughout the first rookie contract, and that's it. Anthony Richardson, C.J. Stroud, and oh my God, Bryce Young are the only three guys. Okay, let's take a look. I've seen all I need to see with Levis. I agree. Yeah. Okay, so let me look at the trade value chart. So because we're going to start getting into the picks where like we might want to consider trading up. CJ Stroud's, Bryce Young's really the only quarterback that I really, him and Richardson, but like again, I'm not a fan of this QB class. All right, let's see. The Patriots take Myles Murphy. Okay. I really wish you could see this. All right, so let's see. Anybody should we consider trading up for? Because so if we wanted to trade up now, we're probably giving up a third round pick. Because right now I'm thinking no with how the draft board's falling, and I'm thinking maybe with the Steelers, but let's see. Broderick Jones, okay. We're gonna let Washington go. Okay, Lucas Van Ness. I really wish you could see the big board right now, but you can't. Who's next? Who would we want to take? I mean, so far the board's falling pretty well. The wide receivers are still there, but let's see. Is there anybody I would like there? So Dallas's pick is at 700 points, and Pittsburgh's at 950. So if I really wanted to move up, I would consider having to give up maybe a third. Trade up and get JSN. The problem is that, let's see, I would have to give up a third round pick. Maybe a fourth too. And I don't know how. So let's just see. First round pick, 26. It would have to be a third and a fourth. My question too is that if I give up this first round pick, knowing how okay, so I'm thinking, would I go? Okay, I'm just trying to calculate what my next move would be. Think of the recent third round picks. No, I agree. Like, I'm not trying to be chicken about it. It's just, I'm just trying to think, okay, if I do this move and I keep the second round pick, then I got to really hit on the second round pick. So let's see here. I'm going to try trading up with Pittsburgh. We're going to be trying to move up 9 spots. We'll see if they accept it. If they don't, then we got to kind of live with it. So let's just try it. Let's have some fun. They said no. Okay, so Joey Porter went. So they said no to the trade. Let's see. Let's try to trade up. Let's see. So Detroit. Okay, they're more likely to trade down, and I wouldn't have to give up as much draft capital. I'm going to say let's do 26, 90, and 170 to get our guy. What do we say? For me, right tackle or guard at 26. I could probably get a guy at 58 that I like. If I'm being real with you. Let's have some fun. We might maybe do a third one if we want to keep going. So let's do the trade up mock draft. Let's try. Let's see. Do they agree? They said no. I might want to move up with Seattle. Let me try to trade up with Schmitz at 26. Maybe. You didn't click the trade offer button. Well, really? That's so fucking dumb. Oh, my bad. My bad. My bad. Chill the fuck out. My bad. Oh my god. Sorry. My bad. So now, let's see. Well, we kind of lucked into it. My bad. Chill out. Jesus Christ. 700. Okay. I can probably just give up the third and move up. Yeah, let's just try to give up the third and move up. They said no. Let me throw that in. We're going to try this one last time. Okay. So we move up from 26 to 19. And with the 19th pick, the Dallas Cowboys select Jackson Smith and Jigba, wide receiver, Ohio State. And might I add, like, I'm just curious. Oh, you can't even see anything. I was always curious about those other screens. So we only really give up the conditional pick or the compensation pick, a third round pick to move up and get the guy we want, and arguably the number one wide receiver in the draft class, depending on who you ask. So let's go ahead and take him. There we go. I'm just curious to see how the rest of the board falls. That kind of worked out because then I didn't give up as much draft capital as I had to. And now we kind of just sit until pick 58. So, I mean, and that really wasn't as bad of a move up. I mean, if you feel like, okay, I'm going to take a wide receiver with this pick. There's that. Oh, man, the Eagles got... Wait, what? Hold on. Zay Flowers. What are the Eagles doing? Quentin Johnson and Zay Flowers? God damn, bro. Alrighty. 25 picks away. Let's go ahead and speed this up ever so slightly. Damn, we just got sniped at the run. Alright, let's take a look. I'm kind of pissed because they did take our guy back to back, and that just happens in this draft. So let's take a look. Gibbs is gone. Gibbs went to the Browns, which real shocking there. Let's take a look at each position group. So I already took a wide receiver, and we're not probably taking a tight end. So let's take a look at tackle. Tyler Steen's a guy they met with. I'm not the biggest fan of him. Sim Richards a guy they met with, but not my liking there. Voorhees. He tore his ACL. If you take him in the second round, he's probably going to redshirt. If he wasn't hurt, I would think about taking him. And this is a guy they also met with, Jared Patterson. Henley. Henley's there. But I want to kind of go through a couple these other picks. Cornerback. Eli Ricks is a guy that I like out of Alabama. Defensive line. Tough crowd in this particular situation. Linebacker. DeMarvin Overshown. We do need a linebacker. Yeah, if Voorhees wasn't hurt, we're having a different conversation here. I have started looking at DeMarvion Overshone. I think he would fit real nicely with our team. Zach Charbonnet. Well, do I want to go? I can get a running back later. I don't want to do that. Noah Sewell. He's a good player. I'd like to have him, but let's go get Dan Quinn, his guy. I think. I've heard good things about Henley. Who do you value with the second round pick? Or what a second round pick? I need a guy that's going to come in and be a productive player. At cornerback, you don't really have a whole lot of options. I mean, you got Eli Ricks, who I like. Not everybody likes him. Darius Rush. Hold on. Let me take a look at my big board because I was looking at linebackers. Give me 1 second. Who did I grade? Let me just take a look at who's available at linebacker. Okay. So I have Overshone as a second round pick or a second round grade. Who's next? Pace is third, but I can see him starting for Dallas specifically. Noah Sewell's got a third round grade. I think they met with Ivan Pace too. They did meet with someone. They didn't meet with him. They met with the cornerback. So I'm going to just trust my big board. I'm going to go with DeMarvion Overshone. Hold on. I didn't grade Henley. I haven't had a chance to look at Henley, so I don't want to go with a guy that I don't know. That's just me. They met with Henley, did they? I don't want to be on, if I don't know, I don't know. But let me just see here. I'm just looking through what my guys have been saying about him. Okay. I'm just reading up in a group chat I'm in about him, so just bear with me. Okay. I'm gonna go with Henley here. They're giving me good grades on him. Let's go with Henley. And we'll just let the rest of the draft play out. Bear with me for a second. I'm just in the message group. Okay, so let's take a look here. So we got Jackson, Smith, and Jigba, and Daly and Han. What this is what makes me laugh is that they give the trade a D plus, but they give both of the picks an A plus. Like what? Maybe for the value, but like if I'm going off of the value chart, this is kind of I have to overpay a little bit. Let me just see what we're doing here. I might do one more as a trade down scenario. For the 16 people watching, if you haven't done so already, please make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. Hit the notification bell as well. Overall draft grade an A+. And then if you want to become a member today, hit the join button in the link. So let's go ahead. Let's go one more mock draft. We'll go a little bit faster this time, then I'll get out of here. We're going to look at trading down. One more go around, and then let's call it a day. I'm going to just let the drafts go. Let's just assume that we sit and pick. Okay, so DeJuan Jones. That's a nice pick right there. But again, I want to trade it down. I really want to trade down here. So let's just see what options we have. So we have the Colts, the Falcons, and the Bears. So let's say we want to trade down with the Colts because we don't want to go too far down. All right, let's take a look. So what does the trade value chart say? Okay, so we hold a pick value of 700. Meanwhile, the Colts pick is a 550, so I'm thinking we can maybe pick up a 2. Where's Indy's pick? Do they even have a 3? I don't think they have a 3. They do have a 3. A 3. So let's just kind of look at it this way. So I would say you give me these. So we'll swap this pick. Your team owner will veto it. You're going to have to give me pick 79. And we're going to tax you on like a late pick. So let's go ahead and let's do that. We're going to get an extra 3rd round pick for this. And we move down about 9 spots. Okay, they accepted the trade offer. So let's go ahead and resume this trade. There's DeJuan Jones. I think this is played perfectly with how I would want to go. Even though I like Steve Avila a lot, I think that it depends. So this is what I will say. It depends on what your answer is on how you view on Tyler Smith. If you think he's going to be your guard moving forward, you can just put him there, and you value Jones there. That's really comes down to your flavor. I'm going to go with DeJuan Jones here. I think that the value is pretty good. Steve Avila is a nice pick, but I think for the sake that the Cowboys will most likely play Tyler Smith at left guard for this particular year, we're going to go with DeJuan Jones. So then we move to our 2nd round pick. Well, Steve Avila is there, and I have no problem doubling down on the offensive line, but I'm going to go with Zach Charbonnet here. I want to get the best guy here. But, hold on. Zach Charbonnet is a really good pick here. Knowing where he's going to go and what he can do, but yeah. Let's just play. I think here, let's go with Zach Charbonnet. Let's get a hard-hitting running back. 1st, 3rd round pick. I'm going to say let's go with Tank Dell. And then let's close this thing out with Dorian Williams. How about that? Does that make sense? Dorian Williams. Yes, let's do that. Alrighty. Let's see where they grade our picks. B+. I think that Zach Charbonnet is really low for a grade because he's going to go in the 2nd round, I feel. Dorian Williams being I don't know about that. I think he's definitely a 3rd round pick guy. But what do you guys think about this trade down, hypothetically? You get DeJuan Jones, you get Zach Charbonnet, Tank Dell, and Dorian. I like this very much. I think that this kind of, you tackle all your needs in one go, and you get, quality guys that can make impact. And on top of that, you fill a lot of holes doing this. So, alrighty, guys. Well, we were approaching the hour mark here, so I'm going to go ahead and go back to the regular screen here. Yeah, so that's kind of where we stand at the post combine break. Now we are, approaching free agency next week. Feel free down in the comments section below to tell me what you guys think is going to happen. Is there particular guys that I should keep an eye out for and all that other stuff? And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. If you are watching this on the video playback, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. Thank you guys so much for the support. I've been greatly appreciative of that. Predictable scenario for what the Cowboys would do. Yeah, probably. Cornerback is still hurting. Yeah, I think that you could look at cornerback, but then again, who knows? That's kind of just like I would go with the guys that I know. Maybe, you go with the cornerback there, but there's that. Well, guys, I had to get out of here. I do thank you guys so much for everything, and with that,